Chris_Matos44. How do I stay more fluent when I'm pitching and not stopping my motion? Again, when it comes to pitching, when it comes to like movements on the field, man, I just really do believe in like personal preference, right? Like, how many times do you think people watch Kershaw coming up and they were like, oh, that's not fluent, that's not going to be repeatable? I think the body, especially if you lay the athletic foundation, like the body is incredible at understanding what those motor skills look like, what that movement looks like, and adopts that movement. Now, our goal is to make sure that movement is inching closer and closer towards like the end goal, but that's the preface. But in terms of the fluidity.
Well,
it's not fluency.
He's saying fluent, but I think he means more fluid.
Yeah.
Because fluidity would
fluent
be
is like a language, right?
Yeah, but it's also like the same word you could use for, I guess. Like,
anyways, fluidity. Again, I said this in a previous question. I think rhythm and timing. I think your body just does so well with rhythm and timing. So, your body does so well with rhythm that's going to then promote timing. I made this analogy in a podcast the other day. I was talking about pitching is like singing a song. When you sing a song, you don't really like consciously think. Oh, there I go again with consciously think about the lyrics, right? Like the rhythm of the song influences like your ability to just know the lyrics of it. I think that's a very similar notion to our fluidity that we establish, whether it be, as in the field, on the mound, in the box, behind the dish, even as an umpire. Probably not as an umpire, never mind. But it's all kind of the same piece. So like, whatever works in terms of how you establish that rhythm and how that rhythm for you promotes that timing. I've done a multitude of different kind of mechanisms throughout my delivery. There was one specific, I adopted like a Kershaw type, I wouldn't even call it like a hesitation, just kind of a brief pause descending from leg lift. And that actually helped timing. But like you would look at it and be like, wow, that's like kind of herky-jerky, like Mackenzie Gore-ish, where there's like a stop and go motion. Look at Dan Herron back in the day. All you youngsters don't know who that. He did a pause at the top. Hideo Nomo. Like there's a lot of guys that establish their own sense of fluidity throughout their delivery. And I think, again, I could literally probably go through all of these questions and just be like, oh, the answer is just establish your own personal cues and stuff. But fluidity, to answer the question simply, find things that promote your hands and feet working together, your timing of your hands and your feet, the rhythm of it. A very simple, generic one on MLB The Show, Create a Player. Hands go down, hands come up, foot comes up, hands drop as you load, the foot drops, and now you're giving your body rhythm, which is then going to give back, in my opinion, timing of when things are going to occur. How do you stay more fluent when you're pitching and not stopping your motion?
I feel like I kind of stop. Mine's not really stop. Mine's more just like gradual build up. That's what I've noticed. I have that like,
yeah.
I don't have that hesitation. It's just more like I just slow and then gradually build up.
Yeah, I mean, remember when we first started like working together?
Yeah.
I was trying to do like the opposite because like I hated your initial move.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's all how you generate power and how you perceive what is powerful. But like, for example, he's a slower initial move. His slow initial move gets him to feel maybe a little bit more load in his leg. But I look at it like, obviously you can't put absolutes on anything, how anyone should move one way, but simply looking at it, in order to throw fast, you probably need to move a little bit fast, right? So that's going to then influence probably some faster movements down the slope, but you could also get out of fluidity in that as well. I think it all really just depends.
I would say that going through all those like different and just trying things and like messing around with it definitely helped me get a better understanding.
100%.
Because then if all I do is move like that, then I'm never going to know like what's faster, what's slower. It's just going to be that. And it's just
100%.
I think now what I'm at is like a good happy medium, I guess.
Yeah.
For like that slow build up, but also like I have a point in time in my I guess, delivery that when we get at that point, it's time to go.
Yeah, your body knows,
I
like,
know,
all right,
like,
it's time to go, yeah.
I need to drift. I need to get going.
Yeah.
All the 12-year-old pitching coaches are going to be like, he said drift, you're not supposed to drift.
Really?
And fall.
I like falling.
I like the feeling,
think
but I just need to be careful about when I do a little too much.
I think I think that can go into a whole nother conversation about, like,
hopefully someone asked that in the queue.
Guys, if you look at the way that throwers' hands move throughout their delivery, then you can adjust the tempo of the body throughout the entire delivery. But that's a really good point he brought up in terms of, like, the trial and error process to get feedback for, like, okay, this feels like this feels like that, because if you don't explore that and you don't explore those sensations, then you're not going to really know.
I think if you were to look at every one of our, anytime like we're together and we're talking about something pertaining to like me and applying it, you'd probably be like, gosh, this guy just was a freaking guinea pig. But I mean, I would do all of that 100 times over, because I learned a lot from each thing we did, and then took little bits and pieces that like resonated with me and like felt good, into like kind of now where I'm at now.
Yeah, because you still have to maintain a foundation.
Yeah,
like it's hard. Like that's the hard part of instruction in this game is, you get like a 13-year-old or whatever that doesn't quite have that foundation established, and then you do all this trial and error stuff. Then it's like, okay, identity's lost. Yeah. Right, so like that's, I mean, take that for what it's worth, but make sure you have a kind of an identification of a foundational piece that you do when you throw that you can always hang on to, and then you can kind of work from there with always being able to get back. I think nowadays with the restriction of throwing volume and the fear of being hurt is you don't get enough repetitions for your body and your brain to connect to established motor patterns. So then every single day, your motor skills, your movement patterns are just a little bit off because there isn't a foundational piece. Holy smokes, dude. I've literally scrolled through 20 messages saying, how can I gain velo?
That's why I wish, like, without hitting an ad, I wish you can hit a guaranteed button once per month, every 3 months or whatever, that it no matter what, anybody who follows you, they're going to see it. So, like, you're 144,000 on... Did
you know Instagram now has automated DM things?
Yeah.
Where if you go to DM me, there's, like, 4 things that pop up. And it's crazy the amount of times people click, like, look at my pitching mechanics, or how do I throw harder? And then they'll get the automatic thing that says, click the link in the bio, go to this button, boom, boom, boom. And then they'll reply another message and then, like, either send me the video of them throwing or be like, yeah, but how can I throw harder?
No, like, I hear that.
I get it.
It's not linear.
Right.
It takes a lot. There's a lot into it. And it's not just like one drill, but like, what's that one drill?
Yeah, passion. But yeah, is there a pill that I could take?